making it rain.
The Saints traded up to go to Olave Garden. They added some smoke for Dave. They traded for thick Underhill, Nick Underhill's beefier offensive line playing twin brother. Anything else happened today? Oh, yeah. Honey Badger signed. Thomas, hit the intro.
Hey, Ralph, Ralphie, Andrew, and Dave. All right, I got a little intel. Your Saints Happy Hour podcast? Yeah. It's a joke, all right? And I'll tell you what, you, Ralph, you mispronounce everything, okay? I listen, I go, what the? Does he not know the English language? All right, Ralph, try to get an English class in there every now and then, okay, pal? Andrew! Think you're smart, huh? Think you're smart? You're in big trouble, pal. I eat piece of shit like you for breakfast. And then, of course, there's Dave. Dave, a little obnoxious? Got a little bit of chip on your shoulder, huh? You gotta cut people down all the time? Is that what you gotta do? But know that life is good. Appreciate it. Do what you do. Keep on keeping on. Shooter out.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour podcast. We are live on Twitch. If you aren't, follow us on Twitch and remember to subscribe to Saints Happy Hour wherever you get your podcast. Also, become an annual patron at patreon.com/Saints Happy Hour to get the best Saints podcast every day, and you get 2 months for free. It was a huge weekend for us. Thanks to Jay Trahan 518 and Budrich. They became tier 1 subs. Amazing, guys. Also, thanks to Rage83076, the Angry Ocho, the guy who creates all the fabulous memes, where he gave us a couple tonight, and Head Chili and Saints Fan 85 for subbing with Twitch Prime for the first time. You're awesome, guys. Speaking of which, did you know you can support the show for free every month? If you use Amazon Prime, which most of you do, all you have to do is go to twitch.tv/Saints Happy Hour. Click the subscribe button below the stream and choose the option subscribe with Prime. It's that easy. It's going to take you less than 5 minutes, so go ahead and do it. Even if you're listening to the audio version right now, which most of you are, go and click the link, and you can do it every month. It's not just a one-time thing. It's a great way to support the show. Everybody, thanks, Andrew, for showing up right at kickoff. Everybody, what are we drinking tonight? Kevin, make it quick. We got a lot of stuff.
So, I am drinking something new. I got a new kind of whiskey. Hang on. Let me make sure I'm holding this right so people can read it. Make sure that's sealed. Busker Irish whiskey. It is 88.6 proof and 44% alcohol by volume.
Is it Irish? Is it Irish, Kevin?
Yes, it is Irish. They'll get you good and fucked up. So yeah, 44.3% alcohol by volume and single grain. None of that multi-grain crap.
That's
Dave, like Cheerios.
Dave,
So, yeah.
I just went and looked in the fridge, and I guess my wife made some beer something soaked tacos. So this beer was like only a quarter used, and it was just sitting in our fridge. And I was like, "Oh, I'll drink this," and then I realized it was an Imperial IPA.
Oh,
So
God.
I know, I'm like, I took a sip, and I'm like, "What is this?" And I see it's a Voodoo Ranger Imperial IPA. So I'm like, "God."
Dave.
I'm drinking Denizen Pot Still Oak Aged 8-year Merchant's Reserve rum. It's a good rum. It's a good rum from High Tide.
To celebrate Honey Badger Day, I'm drinking Shiner Strawberry.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say a honey beer.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, honey bourbon.
I should have, but I didn't.
Yeah, you really blew it.
I blew it. Thomas,
Like
play
Simon
the
Taco
Honey
Trump
Badger
number.
highlights. It happened today. Andrew was panicked this morning before the news broke. He's like, some mystery team's going to come in and steal him away. The Eagles, we never get the player we want. But no, Andrew, it happened. We had the offseason move of our dreams. The Honey Badger is a Saint. This is amazing. People are pumped up about it. I think he's the biggest LSU player, most famous to ever play for the Saints. And it's not really even close.
Ooh.
The most famous LSU
most famous, most well-known,
LSU player.
most accomplished LSU player to ever play for the Saints. They've had other Saints players that have had better NFL careers for the Saints, but like as far as like an LSU star, they don't touch Honey Badger.
I think I agree. I think that's right.
You know,
I mean, if you just look in terms of Billy Cannon and Joe Burrow won Heisman trophies, but beyond that, who's been a Heisman Trophy finalist for LSU?
no one.
Burt
Jones,
Kevin
maybe.
Falk, yeah, Burt Jones, Honey Badger, Fournette.
I don't think Fournette was a finalist though. I mean, he was he's like Tommy Hodson. He was like, oh, he's a candidate, but then like when push came to shove, he never went to New York.
Maybe not. Yeah. Did Geis go to New York? Darius Geis?
No.
He didn't. Are you sure?
No. He's like the Darren Sharper of LSU.
Yeah. No. I think that's right. I mean, Patrick Peterson is up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think he's one of the most accomplished. I would say of the Saints players, I think you're right.
I mean, Dave. Are you buying a Honey Badger jersey? That's my question.
My teeth look so white with this new ring light.
Dude, thank you, people. You support the show. Dave can buy lights and stuff.
I haven't gotten that money yet, so
it's in the mail. I'm sending you a wheelbarrow of nickels.
Am I buying a Honey Badger jersey? No, I'm not going to buy a Honey Badger jersey. I'm not an LSU guy like the rest of you, so.
Oh, we're going to talk about whether or not you're an LSU guy here.
Go Tigers.
Yeah.
When you want to move up to get Smoke Monday, we'll be talking about that.
But
then we will be talking about a great many things, Dave.
But
play that again. I thought what was that?
It's all going to come
Monday.
to roost.
Every day.
all right. First of all, it's illegal.
I like that.
No, back to Tyronn Mathieu though. You know what? Honestly, my initial reaction was like, yeah, I mean, like he's great at LSU. He's been good in the NFL, but like, isn't he kind of old? And and I went and looked at his stats.
You're the worst.
Shut up! Can I please finish the goddamn point
Did
before
he
start?
Did he intercept a Hail Mary or something? Is that why you hate him?
So I went to Pro Football Reference and I looked up his stats, and I was like, yeah, okay, he's played in the league for like 9 years. That's about right. But he's only 29 years old. Like, what? He left LSU when he was like 20 and got drafted in the NFL when he was like 20 years old?
Well, remember, I think he was a sophomore when he was a Heisman candidate, and then, I mean, quickly left LSU not long after that.
I know. So he's only 29 years old. So I was like, oh, great. Okay, that's great. And then also, again, I didn't realize this, but I mean, like, he was a first-team All-Pro 2 out of the last 3 years. So yes, after I saw that, after I double-checked the math, I was like, oh, shit, this is great. Okay, awesome.
I mean, Kevin, Tom Brady has to be very afraid. The Saints have CeeDee Deuce, and they have the Honey Badger. And Taysom
Mike
Hill.
Evans' dad. Don't forget about Mike Evans' dad.
And Mike Evans' dad, Lattimore.
And Smoke Monday is talking shit to the Falcons already. So
well, we'll get to that in a minute
because he's a winner.
Because he's already on the path to getting a statue.
Yeah.
But Kevin, I feel
happy Smoke Monday, by the way.
Yes, it is.
I feel like
also I love that. Ralph, I love the Smoke Monday fathead you've got on the wall.
I do.
Up there already.
I have Smoke Monday. I have the Honey Badger, and I have Crawl
and Chris Olave, and then you have Chris Olave Garden.
I have Chris Olave Garden. He's got him. He's not as cool as Smoke Monday or Crawl. He's got to actually do something before I get.
How do we not have a sponsorship from Fathead yet?
You would think we would.
Jesus.
You'd think they could send me
That's on
like
you, Ralph.
10-inch fatheads. So just saying. But Kevin, I was going to ask you. I feel like today's signing of the Honey Badger bumped the Saints letter grade up from like a B- off season to like a B+ A-. And I look around the NFC. I look around the NFC South. I'm like, hey, the Saints, they're at least as good at safety. They added some stuff that we'll talk to in a minute. A wide receiver, a tackle. Like, I feel great about the offseason on this one signing. Am I being my typical prisoner of the moment self?
Yes.
You don't think it moved the needle?
Look, no. Yes, move the needle. Yes, I understand. I totally get everybody celebrating. I'm happy about that. Everybody should be happy. I want that. The Saints seem like it's good to feel or know that your team gives a shit and is actively constantly trying to get better, do whatever it takes to try and change things up, get a leg up on everybody else in the division. That's great. And I totally would agree that hey, the offseason vibe, what are we feeling? I don't know, maybe B+, something like that. Okay, cool. I'm totally there. But the idea that, the floor for these guys is now like 11, 12, is like, 12 wins or something. Hang on, can we just, let's not fucking just careen off the road and hope we're going to just float right off the cliff and keep on going. Let's just stay on the road. We got a nice vibe going, and just keep riding that. We don't need to be talking about 12 wins or how we're going to do.
I think this team. Well, look, health is always going to be the determining factor, and I think that's true of any team. But I think where things sit pretty for the Saints right now is I really felt like Mathieu safety was kind of like the one piece that I thought was missing from the Saints. Like as I look at the entire roster, I'm like, could be okay there, could be okay there, could be okay there. But they really need a safety.
Thank you, Brett and Lafayette. 7 months he signed up for.
Nice. Thanks, man. But no, I think safety was kind of the one remaining roster spot. I'd love to get guard competition for Cesar Ruiz, but overall, Mathieu is in the pedigree that he comes with, and he went to LSU, all that. But I'm thrilled to have him. And I also look at it, to your point, Ralph, as look at the NFC. And that news that just hit, the DeAndre Hopkins.
That's right. The NFC,
the Cardinals is now suspended 6 weeks.
The NFC is a dumpster fire, and the NFC South is a bag of poop inside of that dumpster fire. But here's my question to you,
Wait,
Dave.
Ralph, to your point, just about the offseason and the NFC in general. I was having lunch today, sitting by myself, and they had a couple of TVs on behind the bar, and ESPN was on. Cajun Sands, thank you. Subscribed for
beautiful
8 months.
You the man.
And I don't remember what show it was on. It might have been Mike Greenberg. Nah, it wasn't him. I don't remember who it was, but they were ranking the top 5 NFC teams.
I saw that
now. And so they had the Eagles at 5. They had the Saints, I think, at 4. And then I think the Packers and whoever.
No, they
else.
had the Saints above the Packers.
Okay, they had the Packers at 4. They had the Saints at 3. That's what it was,
That's right?
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean, the Packers lost Devontae Adams. That's a big deal.
Yeah. And I mean, and I'm assuming the Rams were 1, and I don't know who was 2.
Tampa was 2.
Yeah, the Tampa was 2. Right.
Yeah.
And so I was really, really surprised. I almost spit out my hamburger that I was eating. I was surprised that they would come in that high, especially from a national media outlet like that. And I think, really what's surprising is that they're rating us and thinking so highly of us with Jameis as our quarterback. Normally,
with Jameis and without Sean Payton.
Yeah, I mean, normally these talking head, mainstream media, national guys, if you don't have a quarterback on your team, like they're not going to put you anywhere in any top list other than top crappy teams. So it's surprising that they are taking the Saints roster as a whole. They're sort of saying, well, okay, and we know they're weak at quarterback, but they're just so good everywhere else. We think that the rest of their team can overcome, maybe a mediocre quarterback.
Well, Andrew, I want to go to this point in that, I think your pessimism about the Saints getting Tyronn Mathieu, I think it was warranted because the history says, look, the Saints, Mickey Loomis, he sets his price. He's not moving off the price, and that's what it is. Ndamukong Suh, trying to get Jimmy Graham to come back. We can name a bunch of guys.
Davian Clowney.
I looked at Clowney. The league told him no, right? Because they couldn't use Brown.
Yeah, but I don't think he was ever coming. I think he was just using the Saints to raise his value.
Well, that's fair.
Yep.
But my point with Mathieu is, you look at that contract: 3 years, $33 million, $18 million guaranteed. I feel like Loomis probably moved off of his number. And that tells me the Saints, they were not, BSing us. They're not lying about, we believe we have a team that can compete now and we're going for it. And we wanted to add 2 players in the draft and we're adding Honey Badger. Like, I think that offer they made to Tyronn Mathieu when he visited New Orleans, whatever, was it a couple of weeks ago or whatever? I think that offer and what he signed, I think it's very different. Like, I think the Saints,
I agree.
Got it done.
I agree with you. I think, look, they were looking at Mathieu, they were looking at Jarvis Landry, and oh yeah, there goes Dave. Must be in the bathroom, huh? You think he's in the bathroom? What do you think, guys? Rain. I really think
Thank you, Vicarious 28.
I think if they had drafted a safety, they probably wouldn't have Mathieu right now. And if they hadn't landed Olave, maybe Jarvis Landry would have been the guy they signed today. So I think with receiver versus safety, like, it really was draft dependent. And when they failed to get a safety in the draft, then they turned to Mathieu very quickly and said, all right, let's get this done. And I believe Loomis probably did up the ante a little bit to make sure he secured him. And by the way, they haven't landed a running back either. I don't know if they're going to go get a veteran, but they were very quick to offer Abram Smith a lot of guaranteed money to make sure they secured him too as a UDFA. And so same thing. I think the Saints are just, there's a couple guys that they were hoping to get in the draft that didn't work out, and they pounced very quickly to make sure they solidified some areas that needed help.
What to you, Kevin, constitute, like, because if we think of like the Malcolm Jenkins and Marcus Williams, they were different kind of players. When you look at Tyronn Mathieu, like, what are you going to constitute and be like, yes, the Saints signed him, not wins and losses, obviously, but like, when you look at him, like, what is going to be a good season for you to be like, that was a good signing, great signing, whatever. What do you want out of him for 2022?
I just want to. I want to be able to say by the end of the year, this didn't feel like a bust. This didn't feel like This didn't feel like a final lap around the course before pulling in and having the tires removed for good. Like, if he comes in, if he starts, if he takes meaningful snaps in the game,
we want you to come. We'll have a role for you.
There we go. Thank you. If he makes impact plays, I'll consider that a success.
Dave,
well, I can tell you. I'll just tell you this real quick before you get to Dave. I'm already set up for failure because I've already made the comments, and if we can suspend the whole off the field shenanigans for a second, I've already said that this feels like a Darren Sharper type acquisition. When Sharper went nuts that first year with the Saints, got all those picks, and the Saints rode his play to the Super Bowl. So I don't know, man. Like, I'm already like at that level. Like, I think Matthew's going to come in and play at that level, hopefully without the off the field stuff. But so like, there's nowhere to go but down with my expectations.
Thank you, Budrich.
Budrich says Andrew pessimist Juge.
Yeah. Like,
what is that Drew Brees thing, Thomas? What's the difference between that and the making it rain?
When you're donating bits, you're getting the Drew Brees.
Yeah, the bits.
Yeah, and he's to level 2 now. Butteridge, he completed level 1 because he gave us so many bits because he's awesome.
Wow.
But I was thinking of this.
Is this our pyramid scheme that we're running that you're talking about? He's got to the second level of the pyramid.
Shut up,
we got to get to pyramid level 5 so that I can quit my job and just podcast and do spaces all day long, naked from the waist down. That's what we.
Dave, look at us. We're drinking rum together. We're drinking IPAs together. Like, I'm telling you,
bros.
Maybe I should start playing golf instead of tennis. I don't know.
Dude, you should move back to New Orleans and join. Never mind.
When was the last time the Saints did a free agent move that we were this excited about?
What was the last free agent move that they signed? Because that was the last one you were probably excited about, Ralph.
I mean, I was pumped.
You get excited
Clowney.
about
we thought we had Clowney.
You get excited
no, this
about
is way more exciting than Kentavious Street. I can tell
when
you that.
When Deontay Hardy signed his restricted free agent tender contract, you were like, we had an emergency podcast.
That is the gross mischaracterization of.
Yeah, you resemble that remark.
I mean, I got excited when they signed America's favorite insurance salesman, Daniel Sorensen, but I mean, he was a new addition, not like Hardy.
No, last time we were this excited about a free agent signing,
Probably Jarris Bird.
Ladavius.
Colby Fleener.
Colby.
Kobe Fleener.
No, I'm not going to give that man the respect.
We weren't excited about DeMario
Davis.
Davis. We should have been, but we weren't.
I mean, we were pretty excited about Jason David getting signed in 2007.
That was a long time ago.
Easy.
That was a long time ago.
Buddy.
Me and
Yes,
you.
I was
He'll
excited
be worth
about
that 4th round pick. He's restricted.
I remember talking myself into Orlando Ruff.
Larry Warford. I was pumped about Larry Warford because they needed.
What about
Larry
Olin Kreutz?
Yeah, I remember him.
He of the I'm going to shove people.
How about Dan Morgan? Both times.
Ugh.
I remember Dan Morgan the second time. We were like, this time it's going to work.
That's right.
Butteridge says, remember Paul Kruger? Whew. That was
Oh, yeah, Champ Bailey. That's a good one, Butteridge. Yeah.
Champ Bailey.
Paul Kruger was next level awful.
Yes,
God,
he was.
And now we had to suffer 16 games of that.
Freddy Krueger.
He stole like $2 million of Gail Benson's money. Or I guess it was Tom Benson's money.
Remember when Paul Kruger ended the year with 1 sack, and he made this comment like, "Yeah, it's the way they're making me play. Like it kind of reduces." I'm like, what are you talking about? Like when it's 3rd and 7, are they telling you to just like not rush the passer? Like the dude was on the field every snap. Like he literally played entire games, and he's like, "Yeah, it's hard to get sacks the way they're asking me to play." What?
So that's the Honey Badger, and the final thing I'll say about it is, it really. I feel like Dave, and you go to the game, so all of them more so than me and Andrew. Although I'm going to get a lot of try to go to more this year. It really feels like, with the Honey Badger, the potential for the Dome to get absolutely bonkers is in play in a way that we haven't seen it in a while. Because I feel like him creating turnovers, him doing stuff like it's going to make the crowd even more hyped. They're going to be super pumped when he gets announced as a starter. Like I feel like this is going to give the Saints and the Dome an energy that they haven't had in a while, since maybe like before COVID.
I mean, yes, I think that, when he's introduced and he runs out the tunnel, he'll get more cheers than, an average safety would, or Marcus Williams is going to get. But I don't think if he makes like some big play that the Superdome is going to be screaming any more than they possibly can. They're already going to be yelling in excitement because of the big play. I don't think you're going to be able to tell
like a true Tulane fan.
I don't think you're going to be able to tell a difference just because it was the Honey Badger that made it.
They pipe
have you seen how nuts we go over Quan Alexander?
Yeah. Should they pipe in?
If you consider a barely starting linebacker who makes a tackle every once in a while, and how the fans on Twitter react to Quan Alexander,
okay,
are they bringing Quan Alexander back? Are they re-signing him? So, like, based on the way they treat Quan Alexander, I have to assume that Tyronn Mathieu actually making plays, having a pick 6 against Tom Brady, that sets Saints Twitter on fire.
Okay, that's Saints Twitter. He's asking about in the stadium, like whether.
Well, here's my question to you,
Tyronn Mathieu. Dude, he's gonna be a fan favorite overnight.
Okay, but
overnight,
if he makes an interception, the decibel level isn't going to be higher because Tyrann Mathieu made it.
Will.
As opposed, no, my God.
Kevin,
there might be more Tyronn Mathieu jerseys in the stadium than the Camara jerseys.
Who I was going to ask that.
I get
Kevin,
that. That's
Kevin, they got 4 months.
I'm talking about 4 months. Science.
Can Tyronn Mathieu in 4 months? Can he be a top 2 or 3 Saints jersey of current players on the team?
Yes.
By opening week.
Yes.
In the stadium.
Yes.
More so. Oh wow.
Yes.
So,
easily top 3, probably top 2.
You got Jameis, you got Taysom, you got Kamara, you got Michael Thomas, you got Lattimore.
No, I think you got Thomas,
Cam
Kamara,
Jordan.
and Matthew would
Exactly. Jameis.
No, they don't have
Jameis. I can see. Taysom. I can see being. It's going to be Kamara, Mike Thomas, Mathieu for sure.
All right. Now wait. Now cornerbacks can
So
wear.
if you're saying yes to top 2, which one does Mathieu leapfrog for you?
Thomas, I think.
Mike Thomas.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think.
That'd be nuts.
Now wait. Players can wear like any number now, right? Like a cornerback can wear number 7.
Yeah.
Well,
okay. So does
he'd have to get
Taysom?
it. Thing is, though, he'd have to get it back from Taysom, and Taysom would have to buy up all his current Taysom Hill jerseys.
Wait, is that the way it works?
You have to buy Taysom Hill would have to buy up all his current Taysom Hill jerseys.
Is that a new rule?
Well, no, Tyronn Mathieu would have to buy them.
Well, yeah. But Tyronn Mathieu probably have to cut Taysom a check, but Taysom Hill would be responsible for buying them because he'd be
people
changing
buy numbers. I mean, that's not okay. But wait, is that a new rule?
That is a new rule.
When did that happen?
If you want to change jerseys before a certain date, you have to buy up all your current jerseys, and then you can change numbers.
Yeah,
how
but
do
like
they know how many jerseys
Taysom's
are
not
out there?
going to spend that money. He's going to tell Tyronn. He's going to be like, "You
You're
want my
gonna cut the
number?
check, baby.
You buy all those jerseys, and you cut me a check on top."
Which could happen.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure
I mean, if he wants number 7.
How do they know? How do they know
32,
how many jerseys?
He was 32 in Kansas City, and there's
I mean,
no 32
Dave, how
on
do
the
you know
Saints,
how many
right?
T-shirts? I'm sure they know. They have it on.
Because I'm a small 2,000 square foot shop. I am not the NFL, a global brand that sells through
how many
many sales
jerseys they're making?
channels.
I mean, it doesn't include illegal ones. It's only.
Please check the timestamp on that. I'm going to need audio of Dave snapping and saying he is not a global leader in T-shirt sales, or whatever the hell it is that he said with such force and gusto from the cockles of his chest. Hey,
Do the Saints have a 32?
Timestamp on this.
I mean, Bryce Thompson, Ralph's former UDFA son.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot cheaper because there can't be that many Bryce. Check the spreadsheet, NFL, and let me know how many Bryce Thompson jerseys are out there that Honey Badger needs to buy up. Make sure you check all the Fanatics and all the mom and pop shops. Make sure you check Black and Gold shop.
Yeah, I think Bryce Thompson gives that up, and he ends up being 32. That makes sense.
Speaking of what jersey number though,
I can't believe they have that rule. This is my business side coming out.
So capitalistic, right?
I'm just thinking
they don't have to buy the Chinese knockoff jerseys, Mike.
I'm just thinking about all the logistics and like how this deal came about. Like to me, this smells like Fanatics somehow got the NFL to agree to this because Fanatics or whoever probably got pissed off every time somebody changed the number and they had to sit there with inventory that nobody wants. So they were probably like, screw that. We're putting in a clause now where anybody changes their... It's ridiculous. That's crazy.
I have a quick story real quick. This is
good. I mean, I guess good for the shirt good for the printers. Because
I have a great story real quick. So one of my buddies, I live in Charlottesville, Virginia, as you guys know. And a buddy texted me and said, Darren Sproles Saints jersey at Play It Again Sports right now. And I'm like, no freaking way.
Do it.
And he's like, $20. You want me to buy it for you? And I'm like, I mean, I'm not a jersey wearing kind of guy, but like $20 for Darren Sproles Saints jersey. I'm like,
$20 is $20.
So I'm like, what size is it? And he goes, extra large. I'm like, yeah, it's not going to fit me. Forget it. I was like, leave it. So, but then I put it in Discord and I'm like, yeah, there's at Play It Again Sports. There is a jersey, a Darren Sproles jersey for $20.
Where is Play It Again Sports?
And there's 2 or 3 people in Charlottesville or in the Charlottesville area that are patrons on our podcast. And so one of the dudes is like, I think I'm going to go get that. I was like, yeah, I told my buddy to leave it. It's still there. So he drove to Play It Again Sports. He bought the Darren Sproles jersey for $20. He sent me a picture. He got it.
That's right.
He bought it just so that nobody else could buy it.
I mean, how cool is that, though?
It's a quality.
It's amazing.
It's a quality jersey.
Yeah.
Is he gonna burn it in his barbecue pit? Like, what's he gonna do with it?
No, it's a quality.
You can wear
Darren Sproles jersey.
Oh,
for years and years.
Never mind. I'm I'm an idiot.
I was thinking of Sharper too.
Yeah.
Kevin, I was on the same
Jesus,
page.
guys.
I was thinking of Sharper the entire time. That's why I didn't get this whole thing.
You'd have to pay me. You'd have to pay me to take a Sharper.
That's right.
Right. My brain went full Ralph there for a second. Good Lord.
Mine too. I thought the same exact thing.
No, and you never will.
I don't know
That's
why.
right. Give it to us, Jim.
I guess because we were talking about Sharper.
You know, the guy that holds the record for
dude.
scrimmage?
Oh, I would have
totally fine.
Fine.
Buy it for 20, buy it for 5, buy it for 30. Where it cutting your grass? Where it doing the plumbing? I don't give a shit.
Don't you guys think $20 is a little high?
No,
for Darren
it's
Sproles
fine.
base jersey.
$20
in
for a
Virginia.
real
$20.
jersey is fine.
It's an NFL jersey.
So it's amazing on the Monday after
$20 for a Ted Gregory jersey.
Oh my God, they can't pay me enough.
I would spend $20 on Ted Gregory, and I would then spend the money it took to mail it to you, Kevin.
So it's amazing on a Monday after the draft that we've spent 30 minutes on the show, and we haven't actually got to the actual draft. The Saints traded up.
Job, Ralph.
But today's not just a regular Monday, though.
No, it's Smoke Monday.
Okay.
But the Saints traded up in the draft because of course they did. But they also got the receiver, Kevin, that we've been asking them to get for the last 3 years, and Chris Olave.
Yeah.
But now that
Olave
the draft
Garden.
is over, Kevin, I know me and you, we hate trading up, and people on Twitter were yelling at me saying we talk about trading down too much, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But even though I don't like them trading up necessarily, I can't argue with their belief that they had to trade up to get Olave. Like, they weren't getting that dude at 16.
No, and so here's where I've come down on it. You are correct that this is the guy they wanted, and they decided we have to move in order to get this guy. Okay, that's the guy they wanted. But
I told you guys before the draft that that's the guy they wanted.
But Juge on the YouTube channel did a video, I think the next day or the day after, and
the morning cocktail.
And he adroitly laid out exactly what the Saints spent in order to get Olave and Trevor Penning.
You actually watched that.
And it
made
you madder?
I peruse things. And Juge spelled out that the Saints gave up this pick and this pick and then this thing and then that thing from next year and then this thing, all to move up.
Is that it, Kevin?
Yep, that's it.
That is it. That's it right there. They moved. They traded all of that.
Let's read it real quick. Let's read it. Let's read it real quick. So for the guys, for the people.
Okay,
that
sure. Okay. Yep. Okay, so they traded away pick 18, which ended up being Treylon Burks, pick 80, pick 98, pick 101, pick 120, pick 237, a first and a sixth in 2023, and a second in 2024. They also forfeited a sixth-round pick in 2022, and in exchange for all of that, they received Chris Olave Garden, Trevor Penning, pick 194, and Bradley Roby. What I am saying is, based on all of that, Olave needs to be a fucking machine. He needs to be an absolute warlord on his side of the field every Sunday, starting yesterday. And Trevor Penning,
how good is that? Is that like Brandon Cooks?
Maybe
like,
Trevor Penning isn't going to be a starter this year because for some reason they need to get him to figure out, I don't know, whatever the hell it is you guys say he needs to figure out, despite the fact he was drafted at fucking pick 19 over Bernard Raymond or whatever. But he needs to then be a starter next year, and he needs to be the starter at tackle going forward for this team. Because the Saints traded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, forfeited a 10th, and they got 4 people in exchange. People in exchange.
Andrew, I feel like
these motherfuckers need, and sorry for the cussing, these need to be home runs
I feel like this is a credit card.
We know Bradley Roby's not a home run. Bradley Roby is a reserve corner that doesn't play unless people get hurt.
I feel like this is a credit card bill, and each purchase in and of itself is not that bad. But you're like, I went to Brennan's. I did a weekend in San Antonio. I did this. I did that. And then you look at your credit card bill. You're like, it's $8,000.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a great analogy, Ralph. That's a great analogy, and I agree with you. I think it's when you look at each individual trade and you look at the trade chart, it makes sense. Like it's the correct value. It's not like the Saints are overspending with each individual trade, but when you look at it in totality, which we just did, there is kind of a gut punch there where you're just like, oof, like that's when you look at it that way and you see all the picks, it's significant. It's significant.
But
it feels like bad business, honestly.
I mean, I'll say
bad
this.
business.
And I'm saying this because I guess maybe it should make us feel better. The Redskins, who we traded, Jesus.
Commanders.
That was 2 names ago.
The commies.
The Commanders, who we traded with, they picked Jahan Dotson, wide receiver, at 16 with their 16th pick. So if we're to assume that everything the Commanders does is terrible, then we're probably okay. And we're probably okay. Now, and hopefully maybe that'll make you feel better. Now, Kevin, you need to watch every move Jahan Dotson makes over the next 2-3 years. If Jahan Dotson is better than Chris Olave, you have the right to fire Ralph and Andrew both into the sun, never for them to return again. And also, you
fire
can say
them into the sun. I want to fire Mickey Loomis into the sun.
That's fair.
Because this trade up horse. Look, I know everybody loves to say, well, if the picks work out, then Seattle had a bunch of picks, and what did the Raiders do? Listen. That is why you need to have competent goddamn people in your office when it comes to scouting and drafting these and I'm trying to maintain my composure so I don't cuss a lot and Juge's ears bleed and everything and somebody throws holy water at him and raises hell at the next PTA meeting because all hell's breaking loose on the pod. Can't have that.
All right.
Can't have that. Here's what I know. 10 is more than 4. It's twice. It's 2.5 times more than 4.
Well, that's not.
It's 2.5 times more than 4.
Here's my
question. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, oh, one of the guys is a backup corner who only sees the field if the starters, the other guy, the training camp guy, and the peanut vendor in section 637 get injured. Tremendous business acumen, fellas. Okay. Tremendous business acumen. Listen, Olave needs to practically win Rookie of the Year. Panning needs to be a starter by at least year 2, and he needs to dominate on the offensive line. I'm talking this guy needs to be a Pro Bowler, a multi-time Pro Bowler. And listen, if that happens, if Olave dominates, if Panning becomes a starter and kicks all kinds of ass, great, make fun of me. Call me an idiot. I don't care. What matters is that the Saints actually win and benefit from this. Because if they don't, then they look like idiots again. I am sick of trading up again and again and leveraging future picks and assets for guys that I have to sit on pins and freaking needles on the edge of my seat constantly, hoping. Oh my God, are you going to deliver? Are you going to deliver? That's what I want.
Okay.
The greatest receiver in this team's history was picked in the 7th round out of freaking Hofstra, and they don't even have a football program anymore. You're telling me you can't find competent players deep in a freaking draft? That's on you and your front office.
Okay.
That's on your scouting department.
Yes.
We got to trade up with the Commanders because they might pick him. So the hell what? Find a guy. There are competent football players, good football players throughout the draft that you can find. If your staff, if your coaches are worth a damn, you can coach a guy up. Alvin Kamara wasn't a first-round pick either. He wasn't a 2nd-round pick, if I recall correct.
Yeah, he was a 3rd-round pick. All right, look.
Don't tell me we got to trade up in the 1st round.
All right,
I'm sick of that
shit. They actually traded up in the 3rd round for Alvin Kamara, just so you know.
Okay, first of all,
Sick of that shit. I don't care if it's the second coming of Christ. All right, I don't care.
First of all,
the Saints have broken Kevin.
Okay,
they have broken him. He is a broken man. One trade up too many. They have broken him.
First of all, Thomas, I need
my mock draft channel anymore. This is what happens.
Oh my God, Thomas. First of all, I need the timestamp on that.
All right, I'm muting that. I'm muting myself so I don't interrupt y'all.
Please. Second, Kevin. I don't disagree with anything you said. I actually agree with all of that. Third, I just put on my calendar. May 1st is a Monday. May 1st, 2023.
Will that be a Smoke Monday?
Yeah, well, yes. Well, it better be. my new favorite soundbite. But I have May 1st.
Making it rain.
May 1st, 2023, Monday.
Thank you, PK Punk Rocker. We appreciate you.
Jesus.
6 months.
A reminder: is Jahan Dotson a better wide receiver than Chris Olave? Okay, so we're gonna revisit this in 1 year. Okay,
I love it.
We're gonna revisit this in 1 year. It'll be on my calendar.
Can you put it on your calendar for 3 years from now? Also,
I think I can. I'm gonna do it on May 1st. Every
Tomas,
year
check the timestamp on this.
And this will be a good case study, Kevin. This will be a good case study.
A yearly thing. We'll bring it back up.
Yeah,
7 years from now, we'll still be doing this podcast, and Dave will be like, "Well, hey, how did Jahan Dotson do last season? He better than Olave?"
It became personal with me.
It is personal.
I love it.
Here's the thing with the 19th pick, the Saints
repeat every year. There we go.
Every year.
Just do that. Repeat every year.
So, with the 19th pick, the Saints selected offensive tackle Trevor Penning, and I don't know what I love more about this pick. The fact that his freshman and senior picks from Northern Iowa make him look like a before and after picture from a Marvel supervillain origin story. Thomas, put that pick up. This dude, he looks like
he looks like Thick Underhill. He looks like
Thick Underhill for one.
Thick Underhill.
But look at this dude. He looks like a completely different person. He looks like a choir boy. Like on a Mormon mission, maybe on the left, if you're on the live stream, and if on the right, he looks like a roided up PED filled monster.
Yeah, boy, did he fill out?
He took the Bane venom.
He did. I mean, should that make me excited, Andrew, or should I be worried? Like it's a completely different person.
Yeah, no, I think you should be excited. I think somehow he got that much bigger. He got faster. He got stronger. He got more agile. His vertical leap improved. His broad jump improved. His
He's as close to Raz perfect as you can be.
Yeah, 9.96. Look, we all talked about how
junior or senior.
We all talked about Tyronn Armstead and how Tyronn Armstead was the biggest freak we ever saw. His Raz was like 9.58. This dude's is 9.95. It's like way above Tyronn Armstead. So Thick Underhill is the man.
Thick, yeah.
Do we have a picture of Nick Underhill next to Trevor Penning?
Yeah, Thomas created his. I don't know whether we should give Thomas.
It is uncanny.
Here, people in the chat.
Look at that.
Thomas created this. Should we give Thomas extra salami this week, or does he need to get put in timeout? Because I can't unsee this ever.
Okay, so do we call in
Has
now?
Nick seen this? Have we tagged Nick on Twitter?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Nick is well aware. So do we call?
What does he say? What does he think? What's his opinion?
He's like, stop calling me.
He denies it
or something.
Okay, so is his?
I mean, Thick Underhill is like arguably the greatest nickname.
So is his nickname Thick Underhill with 2 C's, or do we just call him Thunderhill?
No. Oh Jesus, I don't know. This is tough.
Good question.
I think that needs to be a Twitter poll. But Thick Underhill is. I don't know. Who came up with Thick Underhill?
I don't know.
I think there's a Twitter account called Thick Underhill already.
Yeah, but somebody, Andrew's waving his hand.
I'll claim that.
Yeah, I think that's pretty clever.
Thick Underhill.
In 7 years, Kevin will have had a heart attack, and Dave will lose a foot to diabetes.
I mean, like when training camp starts, these two have to get together and like take a picture to get like this has to be a thing. Like, who do we know in the media? Like, get Streif, Andrew, to like take a picture and like send it to us.
Andrew, a picture of what?
Of Underhill with Penning.
Oh yeah.
Like first like off season, like OTAs
of Nick and Thick.
Nick and Nick and Thick together, reunited at last after being separated at birth.
Somebody make a Photoshop of twins, but with Underhill and Penning.
I mean, right. if you haven't bought the domain Thick Underhill and named your podcast after that, you're not doing it right. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Tremendous opportunity for those that want to take it.
But Andrew, to do 45 seconds of actual football, the Saints had a tradition or I don't know if you call it a tradition, but like a philosophy under Sean Payton where they would be like, we're going to play the best 5 guys.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that at left tackle, it would be Hurst and they'd work Penning in. But could we see a thing where the Saints play both Hurst and Penning and try to push Ruiz off of our TV?
Yeah, well, I think from what I've heard so far, the plan is to try to get Penning up to speed by week 1. So, at first I was thinking like, yeah, he's raw. It's going to take some time to get him acclimated, but he's such a physical freak and they picked him 19 and it's like, no, like he's going to be our left tackle. So I would expect him to start sooner than later. And I don't know that I said that when he was first drafted, but I'm changing my story now based on who I've talked to. So I think the plan is that Trevor Penning's going to be your left tackle, and obviously that pushes Hurst out. But at the same time, Cesar Ruiz, I mean, we've talked about his struggles. And so, yeah, I think that's got to be the strategy. My guess is that Throckmorton probably has a shot at right guard before Hurst. Right?
Address him by his proper name,
if they bench
please.
Ruiz.
Ralph, your adopted UDFA son.
Yeah, sorry,
Throckmorton,
my apologies.
Please.
Your son, Ralph. But I do think it's probably Throckmorton before Hurst at right guard if they bench Ruiz. But I think Hurst is in the mix for that too. So yeah, look, like again, they start the best 5, and right now I think they're leaning towards hoping that Penning is ready to start week 1, and I think hopefully he will.
So in round 2, Kevin, the Saints hope to continue their trend of drafting.
Where did Dave go, by the way? Where do you think Dave went?
I don't know, to the bathroom.
Where could he be?
He's probably
Where could he be?
He's eating too much, probably pooping and bowel movements.
Like a small baby.
Exactly. So the Saints try to continue their trend, Kevin, of drafting Tennessee Volunteers and giving them proper coaching and maximizing their talents that in a way that never happens in college. So they got this guy, Alontae Taylor. You did a ton of mock drafts in the mock draft channel. I didn't see you ever pick this guy, and it just, I guess I shouldn't have been because Andrew was telling us that they were looking at corners a ton, but it was a little bit of an odd pick considering what was still available at 49.
Yeah, listen, I must have done, I don't know, at least 150 mock drafts.
Jesus.
And hell, I was still doing a few mock drafts even after the first 2 picks because I'm an absolute sadist and a lunatic. And I absolutely do not recall ever picking Alontae Taylor. I think in my head at the time, I was like, look, if I'm not going to take a safety or a corner that can play safety up top, then I'll get one on the back end because to me, corner wasn't a huge priority. And so I just ended up taking one later because there were other positions that seemed as more a priority. Look, again, if this guy ends up being, this guy has to be a starter. He has to be a starter. He has to make contributions. He needs to do shit like that where he hits the receiver the second the ball even has the slightest bit of kinetic contact with him. This guy needs to be forcing fumbles. Again, he needs to be making significant playing time, making significant contributions in order for this thing to work out. I hope it works out. I hope I look like an overreactive idiot and everybody can point and laugh at me down the line and say, ha ha, Kevin was just being his usual
Are you guys
weird
talking
self.
about Alontae Taylor?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Juge. I'm done. I mean, I got my point across.
No,
Well,
the one thing I was just going to say real quick, you can go to Dave, but I was just going to say, I agree with what Kevin was saying. But I will say this pick kind of got me. This one was a little curious for me because it's like not only do you have your starters entrenched, and at least I think so, Lattimore, Adebo, and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson as your nickel, but they retain Bradley Roby, who's a veteran, a good corner, a guy that I would expect to be the first man up if someone got injured. So Alontae Taylor is far enough down the pecking order that I'm a little surprised, and it makes me wonder, are they not as psyched about Paulson Adebo as I think they are?
That's what I was going to ask you, Dave. You stole my question for Dave, Andrew. It feels to me like we think unvaccinated corner had a good season. We're excited about him. But everything the Saints did, especially in this draft, tells me they're not excited.
I will say this. PFF hates Paulson Adebo. PFF hates him.
Really?
Yeah, he has horrible grades.
I don't know. I don't get that. You know, he passes the eye test. He passes the eye test to me.
I agree with you.
All season long, he seemed to pass the eye test to all of you guys.
Except the Giants game.
Yeah, all right.
And the Falcons on the Patterson deep ball.
Oh yeah.
So you know, I don't get that. I hadn't even the thought of drafting somebody like Taylor and and signing Mathieu and all that or whatever. The thought of doing all of that with the effort of getting rid of Adebo, that had never even crossed my mind.
Wait, the Mathieu acquiring?
Well, just secondary in general. I know Matthew's a safety, Adebo's a cornerback, but just just in general,
But who were you thinking they would start besides Marcus May at safety? DJ
No,
Williams?
yes, no. They had to get a safety.
Oh,
but Ralph's asking me like whether I think all these signings, point to his old thing, do as they watch what they do, not what they say.
Right.
But no, I never once thought Paulson Adebo was a weak spot. He's only a rookie, and I thought he played well, and he made plays and came up in big moments sometimes. Looking forward.
Thank you, GG Low.
Was looking forward to seeing what he could do in his second year. So again, that thought never crossed my mind. I don't think that's I think that's you're pulling that out of thin air.
Here's the thing about the rest of the picks after the first round, Andrew. I kind of like.
They both have the same name.
They both have the same name, the Jackson twins. That'll be fun. But I kind of like the Air Force guy better than Taylor and better than the other Jackson, DeMarco Jackson. Air Force guy is like intriguing because he's a tackle and he can pass rush from the interior. And Ryan Nielsen's the best defensive line coach in America. And Jackson has a good razz. Like I like him. Before we get to the fun of the UDFAs, these last two picks, either one of them, any contribution, you think?
Yeah, DeMarco Jackson, I mean, he'll never see the field this season, I think, as a defensive player. Like he's going to make the roster as a special teamer, or he's going to be on the practice squad. Like I think it's going to be one of those two things. And if he tears it up on special teams, like you can look at a guy like Andrew Dowling, and that's his competition, right, to make this roster. And so he's going to have to kill it on special teams, and he's not going to start at linebacker. He may never start for the Saints at linebacker. So, with him, it's all about special teams. But from what I hear, he can close. He's got size. He's got speed. So there's potential there as a special teamer. With the other guy, Jordan Jackson, like you said, that's probably my favorite pick of the last three. And the reason I say that, he had 7.5 sacks last season at Air Force. And he's a guy that can pass rush from the interior. And so, when you get in that 3rd and 6 situation, he's a guy that can come in at defensive tackle, replace Shy Tuttle, replace some of these run stuffers. The Saints have plenty of run stuffers on the interior. They're really good at that. And so I could see him kind of weaseling his way onto the roster and having a role. Where on third, and if he plays well enough in camp and in preseason, that he could have a role for this team. So I'm assuming that's the vision for him, and I see that. I like it.
Yeah. Now we got to get to the important stuff.
Raz over 9, by the way.
Yeah, Raz over 9. Now we got to get to the important stuff. Dave, on Saturday, the draft ended, and
No,
my Twitter notification, my phone literally started to shake almost off the table. And I was like, what the hell is going on?
It could only be one thing.
And then I see it, and I'm like, there it is. The Saints, not only did they sign your boy Smoke Monday, they gave him $220,000 guaranteed.
Is that unusual for an undrafted?
That is a lot of money for a UDFA.
That means they really liked him.
Yeah.
Look, I got it. They didn't like him enough to draft him. No, I gotta say, it's just, don't you think it's crazy? Like, we talked about, first of all, I think Smoke Monday, you talk about hype. Smoke Monday has to be, this is now the 4th year that we're going to be doing, right? 4th year we're going to be doing undrafted free agent son. And by the way, we learned our lesson last year.
I've won twice.
Yeah, okay. Nobody cares about that. But we learned our lesson. We learned our lesson last year, right, Ralph? We're gonna be making our draft picks, in the next couple of months. We're not waiting till second week of training camp to freaking make our UDFA.
That's
picks.
right. Yeah.
Let's recap real quick who won. I won with Carl Granderson the first year.
Right.
Who won year 2? I won last year with Josiah Bronson.
He won with the middle
Roach
year 2.
I won with
Malcolm Dave with Roach. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
But no. First of all, I mean, we were talking about has there ever been a more hyped free agent pick in Saints history, or when was the last biggest hyped free agent pick? Okay, when was the last time we had an undrafted free agent that was this hyped coming into after the draft?
I mean, Carl Granderson was in jail. I don't know if that's hype.
No, he wasn't. But look, just
somehow none of us drafted Deontay Harris, who's like the greatest UDFA the Saints have had in years.
Walter Thomas, the dude who could do backflips, Kevin? Does he count?
Oh, yeah, right. Yes, that's it. That's the answer. That's
from Oklahoma State.
Yeah, that guy.
Wasn't there some linebacker from UNC Chapel Hill that everyone was like, he's gonna start?
Hang on, let's see.
And he didn't.
UNC Chapel Hill, you said?
But here,
I want to say it's like Chase Thomas or something like that.
You're not picking. We got to get to the.
This is typical carry. Like I basically just willed this into existence. Okay, like
true.
I'm being dead serious. Like as soon as
Dave is an adherent to the secret.
I think it was somebody in the chat who first even mentioned the Smoke Monday. It was live during a podcast when I even heard about the existence of Smoke Monday, and as soon as I heard his name, I fell in love with him. And there it is. That's perfect timing. And Thomas, there's a picture.
Listen, Dave. Here's the rub. Here's the deal. All right.
Wait. Hold on. But like, it's what's crazy to me is that like, I fell in love with him, and we all said, "Well, it's not going to happen. He's going to get drafted." Like he was projected 3rd, 4th round. So I willed into existence the fact that this guy didn't even get drafted. Okay, I took him off the board, and then not only that, but then. Even if he doesn't get drafted, he could still get signed by 31 NFL teams.
Well, wait,
He got signed by our team, the Saints. Okay,
we got to tell the people. Thomas took the Mike Ditka, Ricky Williams in the wedding dress photo from ESPN, the magazine, back in the day, and he put Smoke Monday's head on the
pretty good picture
bride, and he put Dave's head on the groom. And here's the thing, Dave, you don't have the number 1 pick. So if you want Smoke Monday, you have to trade up with Kevin, the king of trade down. But here's the thing.
What do you mean I have the first pick, man?
We don't want you to trade picks. We don't want you to trade money. We want you to trade
I would appreciate
I'm not eating at Olive Garden.
You need to trade your dignity.
Bad.
Again, I am not eating at Olive Garden.
Oh, so here's my demands. Here, I'll go first. Dave, I want you to wear.
First of all, Ralph doesn't have to make any demands. This is just you and
oh
Kevin,
no,
right?
he's the commissioner. We're all making demands here.
Well, no, but he's behind me in the draft order, right?
Doesn't matter. He's the commissioner. He can do whatever he wants. All right. So listen, I need you to wear an LSU shirt, LSU t-shirt, and you can't wear Tulane socks or Tulane hat to compensate. All right, you gotta look like an LSU fan. Okay.
I did. I have that.
You have to go to Olive Garden.
Oh my God.
You have to go to Olive Garden
And data guy.
and
shoe
who's a
shirt.
doctor.
and you have to take video on 3 separate occasions interacting with staff. It can be the hostess, it can be your waiter. And you have to say the words, and it has to be documented on video, and you have to be seen with the LSU shirt, so I know it's not like from a previous time you were there. You have to say the words Olave Garden. So you could, for example, you could go to the hostess and be like, I've been waiting for a while to come here. I've heard great things about Olave Garden. Then, the waiter comes and you're like, man, I'm having a tough time with this menu. What's the best thing to eat here at Olave Garden? So you have to drop 3 separate instances with video evidence of saying the term Olave Garden while wearing an LSU shirt at Olave Garden without any Tulane gear.
I have no without any Tulane gear. I have no problem.
You can't compensate for the LSU stuff.
Oh, okay.
With
Right. No, I have no problem eating it out. I've done it before. I can do it again, and I have no problem making an ass of myself in front of one or many people who might be dining at Olave Garden.
Tour of
I don't think I can.
Olive Garden.
I don't have a problem doing with that.
All by yourself.
I would do that too. I don't even care how much that costs. It's probably like, that's got to be on the higher end, so that's probably like $19.99 or something. But I can't. I think the LSU thing might be a deal breaker, just because, like, I don't know. This is going to be on social media. I can't. This could hurt my bottom line. Yeah,
so
like this
We're gonna retweet it, man.
Kevin, congrats on Smoke Monday, being your UDFA son.
I will treasure him forever.
I want Dave.
Smoke Monday.
Every day. I want Dave to have, and people maybe in the chat can help me, because I want Dave to have to drink a rum drink that is horribly, horribly foul tasting.
Well,
that's
got
what
rum
I
in
want,
it,
and
so it can't be that bad.
People can think of drinks that are foul.
Actually, a rum and Coke would be terrible.
Well, isn't Malibu technically rum?
Yes, yeah, that would be terrible.
Give him some Malibu drink.
I need somebody
Malibu and Diet Coke.
Yes.
Well, I will be honest, I hate both of those things individually.
Somebody get Malibu and Tab.
Do they make that anymore?
I don't know.
From 1987.
Somebody could ship us a can from 1987. If it's still liquid, you're drinking it.
I'm like literally thinking of people I know that are customers of mine that might stop patronizing my business if this got out there on social media.
See, so
that'd be a real shame, Dave.
We can't ruin Dave's business.
Are you willing to risk financial ruin to get your UDFA son?
No,
you got a choice to make.
Yeah, I don't think I am. I don't think I am.
I love how he's.
I gotta stand by my guns on this one. I think I'm just gonna guilt you into just letting me take them. Otherwise,
will you do it without the LSU stipulation? Will you go to Olave?
Yeah, you can even. I'll even let you throw in something else in addition to that. The Olive Garden thing. That's.
I tell you what, then.
I'd rather wear a Falcons jersey than wear an LSU.
Yes, I would wear. Yes,
hang on.
I would do that. I'm just asking
He wants to wear a tuxedo to Olive Garden.
No. I tell you what, yes.
I could do that. But I would wear a Falcons jersey over an LSU jersey. Absolutely.
Wow.
No, again, this is just from a business. This would really we can't have.
Stop it. Get some help.
We can't have that out there.
What about Loyola?
Yes, I don't want to. I would proudly wear something Loyola. My wife went to Loyola.
No. I got one. Okay. So you have to go to Olive Garden in the tuxedo. But you have to do
Wait, hold on. Can it be a tuxedo?
To do the podcast.
Can it be a tuxedo t-shirt?
No. But you have to do the podcast in a wedding dress.
Does my wife have to be with? Because there's no way my wife is going to come with me to Olive Garden while I'm wearing it.
Well, you got to get somebody to record it.
Yeah, Jesus, you're right. Wait. No, I can.
How old's your son? Can he hold a phone?
Yeah, he can, actually. That's a good Dylan.
Hey, son, you want to come see your father embarrass himself? For a podcast?
Yeah, so here we go. So fast forward to 20 years from now, and my son is telling this story.
This is a negotiation.
About how he had to go with his dad to Olive Garden while his dad was wearing
I need the trade value chart.
This is going to be at the wedding.
Is Dave at the Olive Garden in the Tux, saying Olave Garden 3 separate times, and he trades down from 1 to 3 or 4 on the trade value chart, is that equal value?
Well, he also has to wear a wedding dress on the podcast, right? Is that the other thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know where we're gonna get that.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough.
Look, man, hit the gym, man. Cut some weight. Maybe you can fit into your wife's wedding dress.
I don't even know where that is. And there's no way I'm fitting into my wife's wedding dress.
I mean,
by the way,
sure
Brett and
they don't
Lafayette says they stopped making tab a year ago.
they don't
Yeah,
have
that's
wedding
sad.
dresses at Goodwill?
I don't know. I mean,
So think about it, Dave. Make the
Maybe you can rent a wedding dress.
there's no thinking about like I am.
Maybe we just make him wear
wearing
a
a tux to Olive Garden, calling it Olave Garden 3 times.
But you have to have video evidence.
Okay,
interacting with staff.
The video is the hardest part because it's going to be weird to how do I? I'm all right. But anyway, I'm all in for that.
Olave Garden 3 times. Does it summon?
Okay, I'll waive the LSU thing. This is a negotiation. I'll accept that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm that all 3 of those things I'm okay with. I will do that. Okay. All right.
So,
and by the way, I would happily drink Ecto Cooler.
Hang on. I will. Okay.
Making it rain.
I will alter the wedding dress to a prom dress if they but he has to wear it during a podcast.
So wait a minute. These are 2 separate things. I got to do the Olive Garden tux thing. What is that? That's the trade up with Andrew, and the other one is the trade up with Kevin.
That's for the commissioner to approve the trade up.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm jumping up 2 spots. I'm going to number 1.
Yes.
I'm getting
Yes. You will go up 2 spots. You will.
Right.
You.
And
will
the other one is I have to wear a prom
I feel like
dress.
Kevin
on the
should
podcast.
also have the rights to flip picks with you in 2023 as well. That should be another wrinkle.
No one cares about that. We just want Dave humiliated. We don't care about we'll get to 2023 when we get there.
Yeah, I've actually come around on that. We don't need to worry about 2023 right now. This is just all about
it's all about
maximum fun.
Right.
So
I'll start looking.
This is going to be amazing. We're gonna get Thomas to do graphics and polls and stuff. The patrons are going to be involved. That's another reason to sign up and become a patron. You can get involved and help decide on the humiliation. Dave trading away his dignity for his next UDFA.
Should we also force Dave to take Monadula to a Saints game? Should that be in the mix?
No, he doesn't even live in this country.
No, but he would fly, and you would take him.
And then
I'll tell you what, if Monadula flies in just to go to a Saints game, I guess I freaking would take him. That's the worst joke I've ever heard.
Monadula, I hope you're listening, and Dave is taking you to a Saints game.
I would be saying that the entire game. That's the worst. No, that's the worst joke I've ever heard. Oh my god, that's the worst joke I've ever heard.
That's the Monadula
jokes.
Soundbite.
Here's the thing about Smoke Monday that is amazing is Dave was pumped up about him.
I made this happen. I made a guy that everybody thought was going to be drafted in the 3rd round. I made him fall off of everybody's draft board, go undrafted, and I made my team sign him.
But here's the thing, Dave. It's even better than we thought because I did not know that he was a Saints fan, and they have pictures of him in a Drew Brees jersey. But not only that, he drove by the dumpster that is the Falcons Stadium in Atlanta, the Mercedes-Benz Dome or whatever the hell they called it.
Megatron's butthole.
Trash out the Falcons. Thomas, play
buddy.
that.
Good luck. Y'all got to see me 2 times a year, buddy. Y'all got to see me 2 times a year, buddy.
I mean,
basically, we just drafted CD Deuce the second. I love it. I freaking love it. By the way, Kevin, this whole thing that we're doing with the undrafted free agent thing with me, this isn't good for you. Okay, you're on the hot seat now because if I trade up and I get Smoke Monday, and Smoke Monday turns out to be the best undrafted free agent, this totally kills your trade up, trade down theory. Okay, this blows it out of the water.
True.
This is ultimate proof that trading up is the way to go. Just say.
Here's the thing. This UDFA
get you in a wedding dress.
This UDFA draft for comedy purposes is the deepest one we've ever had because we got Smoke. We got Smoke.
You can get 2 rounds.
We got Smoke Monday. We got tight end Lucas Krull. Thank you.
Give me the glaive.
Thank you, Ocho. Who that Ocho? I'm butchering that, but he gave us a meme of Krull. If you are a child of the 80s, look at that. I mean, that's amazing. Krull is one of the great cheesy 80s movies of all time.
I don't get this reference.
1983. It was immediately overshadowed by Return of the Jedi.
Oh well,
but a very fun sci-fi fantasy film.
Dave doesn't know a movie.
Liam Neeson's first motion picture appearance.
Really?
I did not know that actually.
I mean, so like you got that. You got a guy who led the FCS in kickoff returns, whose name I will butcher repeatedly if he makes the roster. Rashid Shaheed. And Thomas tells me that this name is on multiple video games. Is that correct, Thomas?
Yeah. There's a character in Street Fighter V called Rashid, and in Tekken 7 there's Shaheen. Well. Not Shahid, but Shaheen, so close enough.
I stopped paying attention to Street Fighter after 2.
It's really not that hard. It's Rashid Shaheed.
At 2.
So
Rashid Shaheed. So listen to this real quick. This is worth talking about for a second.
And both of them are Arabic.
Arabic.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Rashid
Shaheed. So, we should listen to this. Rashid Shaheed finished his college career as the FCS all-time leader in kickoff returns for touchdowns with 7. He finished as Weber State's all-time kick return average leader at 29.1 yards per return.
Wait,
and had 5,478 all-purpose yards in 53 games. He also had 143 catches, 2,164 yards, and 18 touchdowns. In 2021, he was first-team All-American honors as a kick returner and punt returner, and he had 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns. So this guy is a return. I mean, Deontay Hardy, look out.
Wow.
Wait a minute. Is it Weber State? It's not Weber State?
Weber.
It's Weber, not Weber?
There's only one B. It's
Weber.
Yeah, but there's only one E.
There's 2. That's true.
No. There's only one E.
I'm telling you, it's Weber State.
It's one.
All right.
It's pronounced Weber like the barbecue?
That's what I thought. I don't know.
It's Weber State.
Okay.
Rich, will you back me up here? Actually,
I mean,
Butteridge is surprisingly bad at pronunciations. I've learned.
This
is Arabic.
High fiving, Rob.
Let's not ask Thomas for God's
sake. No, please, let's avoid that. Let's avoid that. We're all gonna get canceled. We don't need that.
I know. Good lord.
I mean, but this draft,
Arabic.
I think this draft is three. This draft is three players deep for comedy purposes. We got 5 people picking, so a couple of us are going to get left out.
I also thought, you know what I also thought was interesting.
I want Shaheed. That's my guy.
What I thought was interesting is I was looking through the list of all the undrafted free agents that all the teams signed, and some teams signed 2, 3, some teams signed 8, 9, 10, or whatever. Obviously, the Saints signed a bunch. One, I thought that was curious because, again, going back to what we were saying earlier. With the ESPN guy, like the Saints have a fairly deep roster. They don't have a lot of openings. A lot of these undrafted guys are going to have a hard time making a roster, like we have here in New Orleans. And so it's kind of surprising to see them take that many guys, knowing
Remember, though, you got the extended practice squad, though.
No, I know. Well, I know. But it's like, there are some teams on this list. Some of these teams are shitty, and they should be signing a lot more guys. Like, what are you doing? Like, why you only signed 3 undrafted free agents? Why haven't you signed 10 undrafted? You need a lot of help. Surely you can.
But you remember though that those teams might have done what Kevin did. Like the Vikings drafted like 12 dudes. So like if you draft 10 guys,
I guess
you don't need to sign.
You only have 90 guys on the roster. So
yeah, I guess.
So the Saints have 17 undrafted free agents. I think
that's a lot.
We should definitely be able to do 2 rounds.
Normally it's like 11, 12.
We should be able to do the UDFA draft.
You pick one.
We signed 17 this year?
We got to do 2 rounds.
Like, don't we normally sign like 11, 12?
Yeah, it's Well, Andrew, that's another thing Andrew got right. Andrew said they were going to be hardcore about the UDFAs because they didn't have picks, and then they traded up and had even less. And they had 3 guys that got $200,000 at least guaranteed money, which is, I mean, it's in the grand scheme of
Who were the other
NFL,
two?
it's not
Who were
much.
the-
But for
I
UDFAs,
think
it's a
we
lot.
should allow Dave to have his guys, his Smoke Monday, assuming he does all the things we talked about. And then from there, I think we should have a 10-pick mock draft or whatever of the UDFAs and include patrons. And I don't know, we'll figure out some competition. There's a winner, money involved, something like that. Maybe money goes to a charity or something. But we should have, like, you can pick 10 players and we get 5 patrons involved. The 5 of us, including Thomas, and then 5 patrons.
I
10
like
picks.
that. I like
We got to
that.
do a live show. We got to get a live show going.
Yeah,
We got to get we're trying to, if more people would become patrons and we could get lined up with our people who do our ads that you hear, that me reading them, we could get those 2 things together. We could do a live show. We want to try to do one in the fall. We're working toward it, but we need a little more patrons. Sign up at the $7 level. Sign up at the $10 level. You get the booze bundle. It's amazing. And you get sign up as an annual. You get the mug. Just help us out. Well,
Right.
we're going to do another live show.
Are we done with our main topics? Are we moving on to our usual?
We
stuff at the
are.
end? Okay, can we get a Kevin Love update?
Yeah, we need the Kevin Love update.
We got some news. There's actually some news.
Are we getting the break? Are we getting the breaking news sound? Or?
Instead of the violin.
Bust it out. Let's go. Bust out the breaking
By the
news.
way, I also Kevin. I mean Ralph. I also love the fat head of Kevin's new girlfriend that you have on your wall.
Got her. Betty. You're on the wall.
Jesus.
Susan.
So met a gal on one of the apps. Met her on a date on Friday. We were going to go to a Cardinals game on Friday. She messaged me earlier in the day. She's like, "Hey, I'm hungry. Do you want to meet for a late lunch before going to the game?"
Whoa.
So I said, "Okay, sure."
Whoa.
That didn't go where I thought it was going to go.
No, it was fine. Met her at this like really nice chicken and barbecue joint.
A nice chicken.
Nice chicken and barbecue joint
Like
as opposed
nice
to bad
dress
ones.
up nice or like nice it was good food?
No, nice it was good.
Like a Top Chef chicken and barbecue place.
No. Yeah, you had to wear a monocle. You got to wear a tuxedo to handle the chicken and the barbecue.
I love that.
And a top hat. And spats. So that's great. We're hitting it off. Just she's cracking jokes, being cute and funny. We go to the Cardinals game.
Did they win?
No, the Cardinals got pantsed that night. But she's a
Very
big
good.
Cardinals
Did she
fan.
display any abnormal signs of behavior at the loss? Any red flags? Like screaming, yelling,
No,
cursing,
but she was. No, but
physical?
she
That
was.
you
Kinda
seem to be
escorted out.
describing. You seem to be describing Ralph's wife.
Solve your problems with aggression.
Dude, my wife is gonna murder.
She admits.
the
She
Astros.
admits to not being. She admitted to not being like a huge NFL fan, and so she said that she was kind of rooting for like the Eagles,
meteor?
like people she knew like rooted for them, and then so when I tell her I'm
She's
from New
gotta
Orleans.
go.
So when I tell her I'm from New Orleans, she says, "Oh, so you're a Saints fan?" I said, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh, okay, cool." And I said, "Yeah, you really, you should be rooting for them if you're going to be going around like in the South around like
if you're gonna be my lady."
Well, so she sent me a pic the next day. I'm skipping ahead. She sent me a pic the next day
Whoa,
of her with a
whoa.
Saints cap on her head.
What? You
And I
didn't tell
said,
us
okay.
this?
Yeah, she
Ralph's
sent me a
pants
picture
just
of the
got
Saints
tighter.
cap on her head. And so I was like, all right, so this is definitely a good sign.
Whoa, wait
So we go
a
to the
minute.
Cardinals.
Whoa, she went
Have
out
you
and
proposed
bought
yet?
a Saints hat just for you?
Probably found it in a dumpster or something.
That's
Holy
possible, too.
Shit.
So after the Cardinals game, we go out.
God, when is the
I heard she drove to Virginia and bought a Darren Sproles jersey.
I heard she went to
Low
Virginia
price,
and bought a
$20.
Darren Sharper jersey.
Christ. We went to a bar, like my favorite bar. We hung out and like kept talking for like another hour, and left, went and hung out some more, and then then that like the date ended at like I don't know, like 2 a.m. or some shit like that. It was great.
Hey.
You can't play the violins when the date goes bad, Thomas.
We have a picture.
I need a new soundbite, man.
There's no way Kevin's gonna put up.
Is Tomas allowed to post this picture?
No,
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Sorry.
But we have one queued up though, just in case.
Oh, you
No,
sent him
no,
the
we
naked
don't.
picture?
I'll just
Oh,
say.
no.
I'll just say this to the patrons and those listening. Kevin,
she's not ugly.
Sent us a screenshot. He sent us this picture of this girl wearing a Saints hat, and I was like, propose immediately.
He was.
I mean, I'm just saying that's huge. She went and bought a Saints hat.
She's
Now
huge.
She learned
Okay.
That's a big. That's a green flag. People always talk about red flags. Nobody ever talks about green flags. That's a green flag.
This is a great prospect for Kevin. I'm hoping this has a potential. I'm feeling good about this.
Is she a doctor though?
She is not. She is not a doctor, but she works in the medical field. She is a.
Kevin just attracts women in the medical field.
Yeah, Dave. What? Dave? What did you looked at her Facebook thing. What did she actually?
Oh, she's a health administrator.
Yeah, a health administrator. So she travels around in like 3 or 4 cities, and does
Kevin,
shit around hospitals.
Kevin, I don't want to like put pressure on you.
Don't go to Charleston with her.
Get you too excited, but here's the thing. Come
on, man. Come on, man.
Here's the thing. My wife's first gift to me was a Saints hat with Sir Saint on it, and I wore that hat so long. When my wife finally said it's time to get a new one, I went to the black and gold store and I said, "Do you have this hat?" And the guy said, "Yes, but we don't make it in brown." That's how dirty it was.
Oh, he's got jokes.
He's got
I'm looking at it. She's a hospital operations manager, to be more specific. Ooh. Is this weird that I have her Facebook profile?
No, weird. No.
If Aaron looks at your search history, that's going to be tough to explain away.
Weird. So
no, it's pretty easy to explain away. It's called Kevin sent us his new dating, his new lady friend's Facebook info, and we're just reviewing and making sure that she's not a sociopath. Yeah,
unfortunately, it doesn't explain all the other women I've been.
But here's the thing: Kevin's extended love update is a great segue into Saints trivia to test our Saints drafting knowledge and our knowledge of Saints trivia, because I was told by Thomas the trivia is Kevin specific tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, you can only guess what it's about. You can have 2 guesses, but you're gonna guess the first time.
No, because literally there's about 25 different chaotic things you could possibly ask that has something to do with me, and maybe 20 of them are terrifying.
Wrestling.
There's only one, Kevin, related to the Saints and to the draft. The question is, when was the last time the Saints had traded down?
The Saints traded down to get Thomas.
No. This is for Kevin. This is for Kevin.
Oh, I thought they traded up.
I get this. I'm not going to get this. I'm not going to get this. I mean, because my initial answer was going to be, shoot. Hang on, let me think.
Well, this is good podcasting material.
Hang on.
They didn't trade down for Thomas Morstead.
They traded up for Thomas.
They traded up. I know the answer to this because I worked the draft that day with Buddy DiLiberto. So
okay, that's a hint right there, Kevin.
I know it.
When did here's my question. When did Prometheus steal the fire? I think that's how far back we gotta go.
Never.
Did I forget about that? See, that doesn't look like the player though.
When has it? It hasn't looked like the player in over a month. Like I think Budrich and Tomas are now just using these as red herrings to screw you guys up.
They are.
It's
I'm Googling it and I can't even find it. So
it's 2003.
Like that's how rare it is that they trade up. I'm googling it.
And what were the picks? What were the picks?
And I'm getting all kinds of stories from the back in the day from when they traded up and the other team traded down, but I can't find anything about when they've ever traded down.
I think
I don't think it's ever happened.
They traded down in the second round and got Courtney Watson. It's 2003. That's my guess, but that doesn't look like Courtney Watson.
Yeah, but that could be. They could have taken Kevin's photo and just put
what
like
year
a helmet
was
on it.
Morstead
No,
drafted?
this is the actual
2009?
player. That they
2009.
This is the actual
Who's the
player.
Who is it?
Does that
Hit
look
it,
like
Thomas.
Courtney Watson? I don't have. Yeah, go.
Yeah.
You wanna know? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. 2009 is my 2008 maybe. Sama Young.
Wow.
Jason Champagne in the chat again. 2 weeks in a row.
2007. That's nuts.
Supernova.
Player.
15 years, man. The Saints haven't
2007
traded down in 50. And Kevin, you asked for this every year on this podcast, and it's been 15 freaking years. When are you going to give up? When are you going to give up?
Here's the thing.
We'll be farting into the wind, Kevin.
Here's the thing. I really
the
think
heart wants, Juge.
God.
Here's the thing. I really think maybe Kevin, we need
outta
to give
here.
it up because here's the thing: the Saints literally had the dude they wanted and lusted for. He got picked one pick before they picked the safety from Penn State this year, and they still didn't trade down. They're just like, pick the freaking corner.
By the way, the trivia answered 2007, and Saints traded second round pick, which was Ikaika Alama Francis, for.
Sure you pronounced that correctly.
Of course, naturally.
He's an Arab.
They traded. They traded.
Come on now.
They traded it for
Dancing with the devil on this
third
one.
round pick, number 66, Usama Young, and fifth round pick, which was David Jones.
Bust.
Well, that worked out well.
But
actually, Usama Young might have been the best out of those three, huh?
yeah, I mean,
So-
Osama Young played.
So there you go, Kevin. There's evidence. Trading down is the way to go.
Osama Young
Trade
got
down.
cooked. He got cooked in the Super Bowl.
He still was on the Super Bowl team.
Yeah,
But here's
and
the
they also
thing.
won
Here's the thing I
game,
want to
so it
say.
didn't matter.
People were complaining, yelling at me on Twitter. They're like, "All y'all did was talk about trading down too much. You and Kevin, they never trade." But here's the thing, people, that I want to say. Yeah, we talk about trading down a lot on this podcast, and we do it every year. But one of the reasons we do it is if we do a mock draft and we trade up, that means the Saints in our mock draft make less picks and we talk about less players. So trading down gives us the opportunity to talk about more players and more options and more things, even though we know the Saints are never going to do it. If we trade up and the Saints make 2 picks, that's a boring ass mock draft, even though it would probably be more correct than our other ones.
All right, I'm back.
So,
You didn't miss it.
Thomas, hit the finger guns. We got to get the questions. This podcast is like going on like 90 minutes. Oh, and by the way,
finger gun.
Thanks to everybody for listening to the show. If you listen to the free version, we had 2,000 downloads on Thursday, 2,500 on Friday, and 3,000 on Friday and 1,500 on Saturday. So thanks for supporting the show. Freaking sign up for Patreon so you can get the ad-free version and all the fun perks and stuff.
Evan, you're too good for finger guns, huh?
Well, I'm working on this camera light I got that finally came in today. I finally got it to turn on.
There you go.
An hour and a half into the podcast.
Where's my camera light, Ralph?
Sometimes better late than never, Dave.
That's
You
what she
sent
said.
one to
Jesus
Kevin
Christ,
and
I
Dave.
look-
You don't send one to me?
Andrew, when
I'm
you fix your audio
alabaster,
on
for
the
Christ's
spaces.
sake.
You look like you're under the lamp at Burger.
Yeah, is there a different like my light came with like 3 had like a
My
a
light.
white my light came with like a white setting, like a yellowish evening setting, like a blue
That's great.
setting.
Thomas, what's the next question?
Yeah, well, Kevin.
What's next?
Then finally, first question from Alexander Berkeley. But before I ask it, thanks to all the people who ask us question on Discord. Mainly, we had so many questions that I'm gonna put Ralph on the spot. Ralph, you gotta do the mailbag this
All
week.
right, we got enough to do mailbag, which is perfect because now that the draft is over, from now until July, we need the mailbag. Please send Thomas questions. We need the content for the daily shows.
So yeah, if your question wasn't answered on this show, then be on the lookout for the mailbag during the week.
Okay.
Mail.
First question from Alexander Berkeley, and this is a hard question to read. With Kevin doing so many mock drafts and giving unsolicited advice to the Saints, who else thought Mickey Loomis' statement on Olave Garden, which is, you find somebody you love and you go get him, was advice to, and a mock draft of, Kevin's love life?
Listen, if that's the case, then that means Mickey is paying attention to this. So hopefully Mickey actually listened to some of my ranting earlier and gets people in place that can, find the good people later in drafts.
I don't know. I mean, based
That's
on
a
what you
great
were
question.
saying, based on what you were saying earlier, Kevin, it sounds like you've traded up.
But with what? With what? I didn't have any
love
assets. I was single. I didn't have shit.
I mean, you were married.
I wonder. Here's the thing: we all want the Saints.
10 years ago.
We want these Saints picks to do well, Dave. But I feel like if Olave is
on the
good,
Italian setting,
and Penning is good,
no, it's on the Irish setting.
That's
mine's
from
on the
Dave.
Italian set. Yeah, mine's on the Italian set.
Yeah.
Don Cariello.
If Olave is really good, Andrew, and Penning is just kind of meh, that won't dissuade the Saints from trading down.
Kevin, we're not telling ghost stories by the fireside here.
You mean dissuaded them from trading up?
Yeah, like they both have to be like complete and utter busts for Mickey Loomis to consider.
If Olave is awesome and Penning's awful, they'll be like, "See, I told you we should have traded up to 11 to get Olave."
Right, we should have just given our 19th pick instead of our.
Look, you guys are
2023
distracting
pick.
from this question from Alex Burkle. The point is, Kevin, find someone you love already.
Yeah.
Mickey wants you to do this.
Yeah, hey,
Do it
listen,
for the Saints.
Everybody needs
Andrew's dad says Kevin looks like Freddie
sometime.
I don't know. There's no violin this week.
And don't blow it with this girl. She has
Right.
potential. I'm into this. You know,
There's no violin this week. This
Don't blow
You're
it.
into her?
this gal seems like a keeper.
That's
Don't
right.
blow it, Kevin.
Next
Don't
question.
blow it.
Okay, next question comes from...
Just don't take her to Charleston.
Next question.
Dave with the callback, just
Don't
murder.
go to her friend's wedding in Cleveland either.
Murder.
Next question.
Being assassinated here live on.
Stay away from the entire state of South Carolina.
Speaking of women, next question from Jason Champagne.
Whoa.
In Kevin's love life mock draft, would he consider a trade up for a woman with a tan Raz who is also bendy?
So bendy. I mean, if you've got a 10 Raz and your bend quotient is like really high, I'm assuming I'm thinking like circus trapeze artists, like
like
bendy,
Seinfeld. She's a gym.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
am
both,
dead.
like both feet behind your head. Just do whatever you want.
I'm dead.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
I just want to say this,
Oh wait, is Kevin trading up or no?
listeners. The Kevin Love Life draft questions. It's your best work. Truly.
Yes. Hey,
Truly.
by the way, yeah. To -1 point.
That's negative
Make-
1
ma-
of 1.
-1 of 1. Make sure you keep the podcast secret, Kevin. You haven't
already
mentioned
knows.
the podcast to her
She
yet.
already
You already
Too
told
late,
her.
oh,
That's why she
shit.
bought. Maybe that's why she bought the
It's
hat. though.
over.
No,
It's
maybe
over.
She already
that's why
knows.
She must have been like, he loves
Is
the
she
Saints
watching
so
right
much. She's on
now?
a podcast.
No, no, she's probably not. I'm sure she's asleep.
Oh,
Wait, would you?
God. I
Would
hate
you-
to hear that.
Why do you think she's asleep?
She wakes up early in the morning to go to work.
I just wanted to make sure this wasn't a Darren Sharper situation.
No.
How do
How do you
that's
slip
why
that in on the first date?
Well, because
we were just talking about random shit, and it came up.
Slipped other things in, so
What's worse?
Wrestling came up too.
What's worse?
No.
Hey,
Wait a
okay.
minute.
Yeah.
I have a serious
the fact
question.
that she
You
didn't
put it all out
immediately
there.
the fact that she didn't A, start laughing at me, or B, run away in terror.
It's a good sign.
Feeling pretty good, fellas.
Here's the
I'm
question.
actually gonna go the flip side on this, and I'm gonna say that I'm not feeling this anymore.
What
You
is
told her
worse?
about wrestling and the podcast, and she didn't run screaming.
Yeah, no,
Pitcher, man.
no.
Lady.
You know what saves it
Something's
is that
wrong with her.
Wait, no. You know what saves it is that she heard both of those things, and she didn't go out and buy like a Hulk Hogan hat. She went and bought the Saints hat. So that's good news. We're good on that front.
Good news.
Right?
Right.
Like she knew, like
Yeah.
she trended
You're right.
toward the cooler thing.
That's right.
True.
Yeah.
She was like, Hulk Hogan, right? Like, we're good, right?
But
come on,
seriously, I can't
wrestling,
believe you
right?
told her
Yeah.
about
If she
all
starts
that.
texting you no context Dusty Rhodes Twitter videos, Kevin, you might have a problem. Or it
Should I
might be
play the
love-
violin?
Says you.
Next question.
That makes
Okay,
Kevin's
next-
pants tighter.
I will neither confirm or deny that.
Kevin, we're going to do a daily podcast. We're going to compare no context Ric Flair to no context Dusty Rhodes, and we're going to decide which one is better. And like eight patrons will like it, but it'll be.
Yeah,
Go
I'm
ahead,
fine
Tom.
with that.
I'm gonna really pump those numbers up.
Go ahead, Thomas.
Next question from Saints Rabbit.
Another Kevin song. It's Kevin Quinn.
Well, hold on.
Which
Hold on. Stop. This question is actually better. From Saints Mexi. Is a second date lined up? Or are you waiting for her to text you back? I actually prefer that question.
That is a good question.
There already is a second. Look, we were talking
is
about
that?
getting a second date lined up before she even left.
Before you slipped it in there.
We were talking about a second date before the first date even ended. And we've already lined up a second date for tomorrow evening. We're actually having a gym date tomorrow.
Oh no.
Gym?
My God.
Gym date.
You kids
Jim
and
Mora
your
date?
weird dates.
That is
Yeah, Tomas, Jim Mora date.
What does that mean? You're gonna work out together?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, whatever.
Oh, that's how
see
it's called now. Okay.
Is she gonna see your tattoos?
Yeah, she knows about the tattoos.
Oh, okay. All right. Kevin's winking at me.
Did you at least get okay, never mind. I'm not gonna ask this on air. Let's go back to Saints Rabbit. Sorry.
This is a good show.
It's the best show, Dave.
Okay, question from Saints Rabbit.
As soon as the show ends, Ralph's gonna say,
we got
"That
Honey
was a
Badger. I'm in a
great
great mood.
This is the longest show, by the way. Saints Rabbit asks, which is more
Smoke Monday.
insufferable?
We're going into Smoke Tuesday.
Jesus, Dave.
Boy, of all the highlights this week, this might be the clip of the week.
Yeah, that's it right
God
there.
damn it.
Look, you had to leave it. You had
On
to go,
a Kevin Central podcast,
that was so funny
Dave
that Dave has to
sneaks
go
in at
take
the
a
end.
dump. Dave has to go take a dump. He's like, this is the greatest thing
He's
I've
like,
ever
I'm
heard.
That's the worst shit I've ever heard.
I've ever had.
Saints Rabbit, you're up.
Yeah, this is a question for Dave, but okay. Kind of for Dave. Which is more insufferable? A new song from Dave about Smoke Monday or watching Cesar Ruiz start another season?
These questions are amazing this week.
Oh
They're
man,
so
Thomas,
good.
just clip this as a segment on YouTube. The mailbag, the greatest mailbag ever. Here's the thing, though. It's close because like Ian Book, it was the Reading Rainbow song, so it was a great parody. What song would you parody for Smoke Monday?
Manic Monday.
Like the Bangles' Manic Monday? Like, what would you...
Yes, Manic Monday. Period.
Okay. Dave's gonna rap about Smoke Monday.
I had to mute it and leave.
I think Caesar...
Good one, Andrew. Good one.
That's a tough one. Brett and Lafayette says Cesar Ruiz could possibly improve. Are you saying Reading Rainbow wasn't a gold record?
We can always go platinum.
What is that in the sky?
He can know twice as high.
Why is that quality so terrible? It does not sound like that on my phone.
Ralph,
No,
you nailed those notes, those high notes. That was amazing.
I don't know. I think Cesar Ruiz can get better. I think Brent and Lafayette is right.
Next question.
You better spot her when she squats.
Kevin,
I have no idea what he just said.
I don't either.
Me too.
No clue.
Dave's completely falling apart.
Everyone has a hard
In a
time
way.
listening to Dave.
Yeah, got nothing. Thomas, mute Dave, please.
Who that army guy
That's
says you
fucking
better
illegal.
spot her when she squats
Yeah, I do.
on the workout dance?
I do.
That's the one.
Oh Jesus!
Oh wow, Jason Champagne. Oh, this might be the quote of the year. Jason Champagne goes Smoke Monday, and Taco Charlton on a blitz would turn Cesar Ruiz into Caesar salad.
Heyo!
Not bad.
Not bad. Patrons, the people in the chat and the questions tonight have been
On fire.
fire.
Absolutely on fire. Yep. You
Today
guys must be excited about Honey Badger being.
Today was the best day of the Saints off season by far.
Oh yeah.
Because the Saints off season, all it was people leaving and us fighting about Deshaun Watson.
Dave's glassy-eyed, and I think it's natural.
Yeah,
it's not. It's not a gummy bear.
No, I'm just turning into Smoke Tuesday.
It's already Smoke Tuesday here.
Yeah, I know. It's been Smoke Tuesday in Poland.
11:59 in East Coast time. We're
That's
1
right.
minute away from Smoke Tuesday.
Next question.
Oh, next question. Okay.
Oh my God, it's hot in this closet.
Okay, this is a serious question from Budrich.
We're done with serious.
No, that's funny.
Yeah, we're done with serious.
Would you rather have kind of serious? Would you rather have Todd Gurley, Chris Carlson, he had a neck surgery and is not cleared for football activities, David Johnson, Le'Veon Bell, Carlos Hyde, or Tony Jones?
I'll take Smoke Monday. Jesus Christ, that list is terrible. I don't want any of those people. None of them.
I'll
None
take
of the above.
Le'Veon, man. I'll take Le'Veon.
I guess. Jesus.
Maybe David Johnson.
Monday.
Every day.
Not Tony Jones. I'll tell you that. By the way, happy Smoke Tuesday.
Yes.
Officially.
Thomas, if you were a damn good producer, you would have a Smoke Tuesday every day clip ready to go.
He didn't know that.
As soon as it strikes midnight on the East Coast.
Yeah, that's right.
He didn't know we were going to go an hour.
If you did that, we could have ended this. That would have been a walk off. We would just end the podcast right now and
Drop
just
the
all
mic.
leave. Yeah,
Budrich,
drop the Yeti.
Budrich, this is a good question, but it could have been perfect. You forgot one name though. Adrian Peterson. He needed to be on this list of sad.
You see,
running backs.
we were doing so well today. We were doing so goddamn well today.
No, we weren't. Thomas said Arab.
True.
A rabbit.
Also, Divine Azigbo was released.
That's
today.
right, my
He's
UDFA
available,
son.
Just saying.
He got released. Bring him home, Mickey. Bring him home. I think he just fumbled again.
I think he just fumbled again.
Next question.
Oh shit. Okay. Next question. That's because of Dave. Dave is all your fault, man.
Yeah.
Last question from Biloxi Blues. Which one of the show's hosts has the best score on the KB Marlboro Bendy scale? Does being bougie help or not, or hurt your Bendy rating?
Oh, people who don't know this, me and Kate, the lovely KB, she's amazing. She watches too much Baker Mayfield tape, but we like her anyway. She's fun.
I don't get that. I don't get that.
Yeah.
we wanted to create like the RAS score, but for bendiness of players and pass rushers. So it's the KB Marlboro bendy scale. I mean, I'm the most inflexible person that ever lived. Like, I literally can't bend my foot up or down one of them. So
Like
I'm
a
like
small
a zero.
I have done yoga before, and I am hypermobile, is what they call me, because
Shut up! Oh, just talk about bougie. Using the term hypermobile. Yes. So to answer your question, yes, being bougie helps your bendy rating because you get to use terms.
I am very bendy. I am very bendy.
All right.
I can do some yoga moves that I guarantee Dave cannot do.
I would guarantee that you are right 100% and that I cannot do them. So I'm going to put it in order from last to first. I'm going to say Ralph fourth. I'll be third. I'll give Kevin second because Kevin was athletic and doing wrestling and that stuff. And I guess since he's
sometimes wrestling and lifting can make you less bendy.
So here, it's funny that we're getting this question.
You kind of be stiff,
because like a month ago,
Dave, you drink a lot. That might make you more bendy.
I've cut back.
You're kind of loosey goosey,
Yeah.
Does the golf help with the bendiness?
Golf helps, but no, actually, like a month and a half ago, I started like stretching at night, like with the family or whatever,
making you a little more bendy.
It is. So it's funny that we're talking about this because, I mean, like honestly, 2 months ago, I would have been stiff as a board, and I think I would have given Ralph competition for least bendy. But now I've got a little confidence that I'm actually a little bit flexible.
Firmly in the bronze medal.
Yeah, I'm getting, I'm not back to my old hockey playing days in high school. But
Thomas, are you bendy at all?
Well, we don't know anything about Thomas.
Thomas, what's your bend quotient?
I am a woman, man.
We don't even know. We have no idea who or what Thomas is.
Starts with A, Dave.
Yeah.
Starts with A.
Yeah.
Are you more or less bendy than Rob Ryan?
I'm more bendy than Rob Ryan. Jesus. Come on. I'm like a 0.1 on the bendy scale. Rob Ryan is like a -4.
There has still yet to be nobody who I've ever heard who can corroborate my story that whatever that first preseason game was that Rob Ryan was first coached in, when he came running out onto the field, he tripped over something and fell face first on the sidelines. I saw this with my own eyes. I never got any pictures or videos, and nobody has ever corroborated this story, and I will go to the grave. Possibly being
by the way,
you made it up.
No, I swear.
The person that runs yoga for the Saints is a lady by the name of Jessica Honeycutt. And she is a tremendous person, a legend. So shout out to her. Seriously, she's incredible.
Based on what? How do you
I know her personally.
Okay.
Jessica Honeycutt is the yoga person for the Saints, and she is the coolest.
What,
from Virginia
to like a
originally.
55-year-old woman in tennis, then you hired the Saints yoga
She does not play tennis, but actually she does play tennis. She does play tennis. Right. She's from Virginia originally, and she's a legend.
Whoa. All right. So. Well, first of all, I've got one quibble with that because you said she was the coolest, and I know for a fact peeing in your pants is the coolest.
Oh, okay. Second coolest.
Yes.
I yield to that. Fair enough.
Thank you.
Just a tremendous listeners, just tremendous patrons, everybody. The questions were the best of ever.
On fire, man.
You haven't done a chef's kiss in a while.
Chef's kiss. This
whole view of that photo. There we go. There's my bendiness in action right there.
This show is
but that's not voluntary bendiness. That's
till the end.
Forced bendiness.
All I know is that Honey Badger is a saint.
That's right. I mean,
oh my god.
This thing is the Saints fan base. We need it today.
That guy is.
The offseason.
This guy is really happy with doing this,
and we needed it.
The smile on this guy's face. Yeah.
Did you win? Did you win that wrestling match, Kevin?
Do I look like I won that wrestling match?
You do not.
That would be a no.
Smiling. I mean,
that's a negative, Ghost Rider. I did not win that.
I get it. Amateur wrestling is just a way for men to live out their homoerotic fantasies.
Oh.
Safe. The ring is a safe space, Dave.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Except for when you're getting bent in half like that.
Right, but
why are you wearing golf pants?
First of all, they're not golf. First of all, they're not golf pants. They're golf leggings.
Yeah. Argyle. Good shit.
He borrowed them from Dave.
So Thomas
Saints Mexi says, Kevin, I wish I knew how to quit you.
By the way, it's Saints Mexi. Is that Celie? Is that Ralph's wife?
No.
Damn.
Brett and Lafayette, there's no chance that I'm reading your comment on the air. But it made me chuckle. I'll say it's kind of funny. There's no chance I'm saying that out loud.
Yeah, right.
My wife has tried to
But
listen.
now it's on the screen.
My wife has tried to listen to the podcast on 4 or 5 occasions, and she will tell me repeatedly, "I love you," and I don't even fucking listen to this.
My wife has never listened to the show.
Ralph, what are you wearing tomorrow? What does your wife have picked out for you tomorrow? You know what? I don't know. How come we? That's the way we should end every show. Every show we should be ending it with Ralph telling us what your wife has picked out for you the next morning. I don't know why we haven't done that.
She hasn't picked out my clothes because I took PTO because I'm taking my son to Gator Country, like an alligator.
You're going to Gainesville?
No, it's alligator like zoo, atrium, whatever the hell. They have alligators. It's like 30 minutes away. The field trip for the kids.
Sounds
so
great.
She doesn't have to dress me. I don't have to she doesn't have to pick out my college shirt and my pants and my shoes and all that.
Wait, she's gonna let you pick it out?
Well, yeah, I mean it's just like it doesn't matter because it's not
my buddy Matt, who listens to this podcast, he's one of my best friends here in Virginia. He's a neurologist. And
he's the one that found the Darren Sharper jersey.
No, different guy. But my buddy Matt, he actually will listen to the show even though he doesn't even like the Saints. He doesn't care, but he just finds it entertaining. So he'll listen occasionally. But he has a son named Graham, and Graham lays out his clothes before he goes to bed every night with his parents. Like he puts his outfit on the ground. And he calls it Line Grammy. He puts all his clothes on the floor and it's Line Grammy. And so Matt hit me up after listening to our podcast one night when we were talking about Sally putting Ralph's clothes on the floor, picking his clothes for him. And he's like, he does Line Ralphie. So just so you know, Ralph, I have a buddy that calls you Line Ralphie when you put your clothes when Sally puts your clothes.
I just thought of it. My wife, she didn't pick out my clothes for the field trip with Max, but she did pick out my clothes for my TV appearance tomorrow. WWL.
Well, I mean, I guess I just don't
Line
understand.
Ralphie.
Yeah. I guess. Wait, when's your TV appearance?
6:15 a.m. I'll be on with the lovely Leslie Spoon. She'll be asking me 3 questions. I'll be on for 3.5 minutes. It'll be fun.
Right,
it'll be fun.
Tell Leslie I said hello. She knows me as the owner of Campus Connection.
Well, excuse me.
But wait, now, so she'll leave out clothes for your morning appearance. You'll change into those when you wake up. You'll unchange out of those, and then you'll get dressed into what you choose to go on the field trip with your son.
That's right.
Now, I'm just confused because it seems like your wife obviously cares about what you look like when you leave the house. She doesn't want you to embarrass her. Why would she send you on a field trip with your kid's school, with their teachers and maybe other parents?
Well, because here's the thing,
and let you be seen in something that could be hideous. Why is she risking this? Is basically what I'm
probably
asking.
what it will be is she'll let me take a swing at dressing myself.
Oh,
and then I'll do it, and she'll
let
be
you
like,
fail?
"That's terrible. Go away."
Yeah, right.
So
and then for the next year, she'll be like, okay.
Remember
that one time?
I only have to dress from the waist up, so it's like a shirt and then a jacket. I might wear this, if I hadn't worn this tonight, I probably would have worn this tomorrow with this.
Is that a Sir Saints shirt, by the way?
It is.
Okay, I gotta be honest with you though. I'm not a fan of the graphic T-shirt with a jacket. Get a button-up shirt, buddy. Come on.
No.
All right, let's go. We're good.
Thomas,
here.
what's the clip of the week?
Oh my God,
Okay,
there's
so
still more.
I need to go to bed. Let's go.
The clip isn't.
For crying out loud.
Clip isn't long. Just a little context. The question on the clip is: if you had to spend Elon's Twitter money, Brewster's million style, what are you buying? So let's see the.
Can't wait to see the clip next week. I would fund lawsuits on behalf of people who can't afford to fight against big corporations.
Would you, if you did that, Dave? Would you have a lawyer commercial like Morris Bart or like the Hammer guy in Texas? Would you be like, "I'm Dave Cariello and I'm here to fight for you"?
No,
because that's a good way to spend money. You could spend the money on the production value of your lawyer commercial.
I would
also fake hole-in-ones.
Yeah.
That was the only clip from last week by VRAMD, by the way.
Well, that was
might be the
worst.
Weakest.
That was the worst
weakest
clip of the week ever.
Well, I don't want to.
Better.
Well, I don't. Well, VRAMD. I mean, not a normal contributor, so I don't want to discourage.
No, I'm just. Thank
discourage
you.
them.
I'm going to go ahead and
Thank
discourage
them,
you from ever doing that again
Yeah,
because that was terrible.
Wasn't really that
Worst
good.
clip of the week we've ever had.
So
here's the thing: you set the bar, so now we know you can eat. We now know you have to. It can be easily exceeded.
Nowhere to go but up.
Now you have nowhere to go but up.
You got it.
Listen,
being positive here.
Do I need to be brighter?
This was the best day of the Saints off season, and we gave you a 2-hour podcast.
Yeah, look,
2 hours.
Trevor Penning, Chris Olave, the Honey Badger. I think Nick Underhill actually said it best. He said the best case scenario entering the draft is a receiver, a tackle, and Honey Badger. Check. So he nailed it. And on top of that, one of the three is Thick Underhill. So
right.
It's just beautiful.
Okay, but the Honey Badger has nothing to do with the draft. Like, I have one quibble with this, and it's like you can't. The draft is the draft.
Incorrect.
No.
Well,
They don't sign Honey Badger if they draft a safety. Incorrect.
Well, like it's the off season. You give them an off season grade.
Yes, correct, Ralph. You can give them an off-season grade, but you can't grade the draft because they picked Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah, but you would have if they didn't have Tyrann. If they didn't have Tyrann Mathieu today, you'd have crushed them.
That's why grading the draft is
you didn't
dumb.
You don't have a safety.
Okay, well then you still have if you're quote unquote grading the draft and you think they should have drafted a safety and they didn't draft a safety, then you have to grade them on the fact that they didn't draft a safety. You can't say, "Oh, well, that's
why grading a draft is dumb because they signed Tyrann Mathieu right afterwards."
Right. That's fine. You can say
grading a draft is dumb because the person grading it has all the answers. Because if you pick a player that they rated high, if you pick them in the 4th round and you pick the person that they rated 20th, they're like, "Oh, that's a good pick because I had him rated 20. You picked him at 103." Like grades are dumb. The thing is, the Saints, like Andrew said, they filled all their needs. They just need to sign Jarvis Landry
so we can running back
more excited, and they just need to get Mark Ingram the best PEDs that can't be detected in a urine test, and running back is solved.
Best EPO.
I'm with that.
Get him to Europe, bring him back, and you get him on the best PEDs, and he can give you 3 to 6 weeks of peak Ingram. Then he falls apart, but then Kamara comes back. Everything's fine.
Give him that Lance Armstrong.
They need to hook him up with
cocktail.
Lance Armstrong, yeah.
That's right. So anybody, thanks for joining us, everybody. Thanks for everybody in the chat. It was amazing. Thanks for the patrons with the great questions. This show was amazing. It's super long, but I don't care. It was incredible.
The longest show, I think, ever.
It was the longest show ever, but it was fun. It was the best Saints day of the off season. So for Dave, who's already left, for Kevin, who had a fantastic date, we're happy for him. For Andrew, for Thomas running the show back in Poland, doing an amazing job. Thomas worked his ass up on the show, the highlights, the rundown. He did all the graphics. It was amazing work by him. And that we can have him because of support like you guys. So thank you. And remember, kids, don't shoot your dick off. Until next week, the bar is closed.